Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's EBC video. We're in downtown Minneapolis. We're actually at Target Field again, but on the other side from where we've been previously, and we're thinking about Mark 1 verses 21 through 28. And we're thinking about it. I'm going to be focusing on things like this sign back here that's showing the coming attractions. Green Day is coming, Def Leppard will be up there, lots of things happening, and it's really focusing on the people that are doing, the famous people that are drawing that attention. If you go down a little further over there, you get to Hennepin Avenue and the theater district and all of the shows that are happening and the headliners on those shows, and it's always about bringing people in because of the who they're coming to see. And that's actually in some contrast to what's going to be happening here in Mark 1. This is a story of the healing of the unclean spirit in the synagogue. And we're right after the calling of the first couple of disciples. And by the way, in Mark 1, you don't get the birth of Jesus as part of that story. But I was thinking about these big, bright, colorful signs and thinking about them as really being sort of like that Christmas time, right? Where the angels come and they announce things to the shepherds, and here we go. And you could think about Jesus being famous as a baby boy because of that. But for some reason, in Jesus' ministry, by the time he gets to the moment where he's calling his disciples, he's been heard of. John has baptized him, but he doesn't appear as a famous figure at that point. Whatever people remembered about Christmas time, it's not that much in people's minds anymore, okay? So he gets to the synagogue, and while he's in the synagogue, there's some shouting by a man, and we're told that the man has a demon, and the demon is saying, "What do you have to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth?" And it sort of echoes that moment where we actually heard the questions being asked as Philip was being called, well, can anything good come out of Nazareth? We're separating that Bethlehem birth story from now Jesus is coming out of Nazareth, and the demon says, "I know who you are, the Holy One of God." And it's like the demon is actually telling a secret that Jesus doesn't want people to know at that point, because Jesus rebukes him and says, "Come out of that man," and he does. And of course, that part of the miracle people see, and now Jesus is starting to get that renown around Galilee for the miracle that he's performed. But I want to back up for just a moment and just think about that context in which Jesus is going to be on the cross for us. And right now, he's saying to the bad guys, essentially, don't tell anyone who I am. And there's got to be something to that, right? There's something about the miracle of faith that's being demonstrated in this story, that Jesus is letting people see Jesus' greatness through his miracles, through the fact that he's coming for us, and that we're able to take our time in our faith journey to find out who Jesus is for us, instead of just being told that, and certainly instead of just being told that by the demon. But there's one more really important piece of this, right? That not only is Jesus allowing us room to grow our faith by discovering who he is in our time through the Holy Spirit, but at the same time, Jesus is saying, it's all about me, and it's not at all about me, right? He's not the person on the billboard that's sort of creating that famous aura about himself. Who he is the person who's helping us and leading us and healing us and doing those things in a quiet way, in a loving way that supports us in our journey in faith to God. So everyone, this week, don't worry too much about whether your name's on the marquee somewhere. Know that just like Jesus, you have an opportunity to help without calling the attention to yourself, but by doing it in the way in which Jesus would. Everyone, have a great week.